Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about the Android Invasion, the Pinnacle novelization. Now, I've been reading several of the Pinnacle novelizations lately. This one has the Fourth Doctor on the cover and is actually a Fourth Doctor story, unlike what we talked about with the Invasion of the Dinosaurs novelization. And this novelization was written by Uncle Terrence, as we can see right here. And of course, the Pinnacle books were published here in the US and sold here. And I gotta admit, that's a pretty cool Doctor Who logo. Now, this novelization pretty much follows the story pretty well. It doesn't really embellish a lot like some of the novels do. We did a really long review about the novelization of Invasion of the Dinosaurs, and I talked about the big differences and what I liked better about the novel, what I liked better about the TV story. This one's more like the Revenge of the Cybermen novelization, where it's pretty much the same. There's a couple little parts in the episode, the TV episode, that's not in the novel that I wish had been there. Like when the Doctor fools the soldier into thinking he's the robot Benton into thinking he's the robot. That's in there, but the second part when the actual robot shows up and the robot Benton shoots him and he's like satisfied, that's not in here. So there's a couple little parts that aren't in here. Although the end resolution, when the Doctor fries all the androids, is done a little better in the books. Instead of just freezing in place, which looks oddly weird, they kind of twitch a bit and then just fall over, which seems a little more realistic. But it pretty much the whole time I was reading the book, I just had the episode playing in my head, except for a couple things, like again when all the androids got shut down. It was mostly just that kind of running through my head instead of my imagination creating an updated version of it. I was pretty much just running the episode through my mind, which is fine. The Android Invasion has always been kind of the weakest of season 13 to me. It's a good story. I do like Android Invasion. It's just my least favorite of season 13, which is, I mean, season 13 is probably objectively the best season Doctor Who has ever done, ever. So it's in good company. Even in the novelization, my biggest issue with the Android Invasion, and the thing that would automatically make it my least favorite story of the season, is the fact that the last time we actually see Benton in Doctor Who, he's knocked out by his android duplicate, and then the rest of the episode we just see the android duplicate of him. I hate the fact that we never actually get to see Benton, even if at the end, if he'd just been kind of, oh, my head. We see him get knocked out and we see him on the ground and we don't see Benton again. We know he's all right. It mentions in later stories he's okay. He became a car salesman, I believe. It mentions in Battlefield. The novelization is the same way. It just mentions him getting knocked out and we never hear it again. Matter of fact, it even mentions the body of Benton was on the ground. I think it just meant that as in he's unconscious. Because in the Android Invasion, they don't really kill any of the people. They just tie them up or knock them out, which is weird since they planned on killing them anyway. I mean, the Crawls, or whatever they're called, created a virus to kill all the humans, but they're not killing the humans. They're just tying them up and knocking them out. Bit of a plot hole there, but okay. But even in the book, it doesn't mention Benton being okay and waking up and be like, "It's good to see you, Doc. My head hurts." Something like that would have been nice. I mean, we do get that with Harry at least. We get to see real Harry at the end. I would have liked to have seen real Benton at the end. And of course, even in the novel, the Brigadier's not in it because, again, it's following the story, and Nicholas Courtney wasn't available with the story, which is another big, huge elephant in the room plot hole. Well, not plot hole, but just elephant in the room thing. Not having the Brigadier in the Android Invasion very much hurts the Android Invasion. Much like not having the regular unit characters in Seeds of Doom does hurt it a little. I always forget units in Seeds of Doom because of that, and I love Seeds of Doom. But the novelization, it's fine. It's a good read. It's not necessary. Between the two, I prefer watching the episode. The book is not different enough, except for, again, that part when the androids get kind of their circuits fried. That is a lot better in the book. Other than that, there's really no reason to read the book if you've watched or if you've seen the episode, or if you won't prefer the episode. I prefer the actual TV episode, but it's a good read. I like it. Again, the Android Invasion, good story. Just, again, it's not one of those where I read the book and was like, holy crap, it did a lot of stuff different. Like some of the other books I've read, like The Gunfighters, I much prefer the book. Invasion of the Dinosaurs has some things I prefer about the book and some things I prefer about the TV episode. It's a good read, though. I very much enjoyed my read of that. This is pretty much just for the most part, the TV episode in book form. And I do prefer the TV episode to it. So, Doctor Who and the Android Invasion, the Pinnacle novel. Have you read it? What do you think of it? Have you read the Target novel? Comment down below and let me know. Other things to do. Click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Burp. So you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon. If you like what I do and would like to contribute to what I do, there's a link to that down in the description below as well. I want to give a shout out to one of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane. I appreciate his continued support, just as I do the support of all of my patrons. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you would like to send me. This was actually sent to me by one of my subscribers, one of my patrons, the Flyattractor, who sent me several things, including several of these novels, which I really appreciate. I love these old school novels. It has that old school, been sitting in a library for 20 years. I've been in like an old outlet, book rack, one of those old school book racks from like back in the day, and it's just been sitting there waiting for somebody to come pick it up. I love that old book smell. It's phenomenally nice. So I want to thank the Flyattractor for sending this to me. And if there's anything you'd like to send me, my P.O. box is down there, as is a link to my Amazon wish list if you would like to check that out. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.